Hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and you're about to listen to a smoking cessation hypnosis session with a difference. And normally I do timeline work and creating emotional leverage, but this was slightly different because the client told me that they had a voice that comes up that almost pesters and controls them to smoke at a particular time of the day. And the way that that part was communicating, I could tell it was a disassociated part. And it's disassociated because it says things like, you can't get rid of me, not you can't get rid of I, or myself. It was me. So therefore it's disassociated. And she described this part as looking like a weird worm with a top hat and quite arrogant and smug in how it was communicating. So we do parts integration therapy, but also parts submodality shifts by giving this part the opportunity to become more influential and more integrated, but only if it meets the same intention in a more elegant and empowering way. This client would quite often have a cigarette at the end of the day as a treat, as a way of escaping, relaxing, and just ending the day. But what they wanted to do is to replace that with something indulgent, but in an empowering way. And they wanted high quality chocolates to be that catalyst. So they could imagine that if they had, a busy day, a stressful day, or an accomplished day, they could end it with a high quality chocolate. And in doing so, that is an indulgent and yet empowering way. Chocolate's only a bad thing if you eat a lot of poor quality chocolate. Just the occasional 1 or 2 chocolates a day, if they have high amounts of cocoa solids, it's actually quite good. It helps release serotonin, and if it's linked to accomplishment, even dopamine, because then it becomes a sensory anchor to feeling good and accomplished and grateful, all of these wonderful things. So there's a bit going on here. Now, it is unlikely that you have exactly the same dynamics going on as the client that I was working with. You may have a conflicted part that's trying to influence you to smoke. Maybe your habit is different from smoking and not that. And maybe nature is not your place where you feel relaxed, and maybe chocolate isn't the thing that you want to do instead of smoking at the end of the day. But I would encourage you to listen to this if you are a smoker and want to quit, because there will be elements of this that you get benefit from. But if you do want a customized bespoke session just for you, then I'll put a link in the description. If you click more about the show or more information or description, you can expand that. There'll be lots of different links. There's lots of free stuff in there, like free courses, free downloads. But there is also a way that you can book a free 30-minute Zoom consultation call. We'll have a chat and we could end up working together. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in that wonderful feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, feel that feeling of release, as if any tension, stress, or worries start to leave your body in your outward breath. Each breath taking you deeper and deeper relaxed as you scan your body for any clues of tension. Maybe your jaw, your forehead, your neck or your shoulders. And every time you breathe out, consider it a release valve. Tension is being released. And just imagine how relaxed you can make that jaw. Imagine feeling your tongue in your mouth feel relaxed. That when you breathe in, it comes from the diaphragm, not your chest or your nose. Almost like your body is doing the breathing for you. And the deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you feel. And the more relaxed you feel, the deeper you breathe. A wonderful cycle of ever increasing relaxation. Not that you need to be relaxed to experience hypnosis, because you already know what hypnosis feels like. You've already been following suggestions from a part of you that didn't deserve the influence to suggest. You know what it's like to do a behavior that feels right in the moment, even if it doesn't fit with who you are right now. But as your body relaxes, your imagination awakens. And I wonder if you could imagine what it would be like to be in beautiful nature. Maybe it's trees and woodland, meadows and grass. And you get to decide when in the year you're in that environment. A spring day with sounds of birds. A summer's day, bright green leaves, or an autumn day with all of those wonderful colors of the leaves. And just allow your unconscious to imagine you in that nature, feeling a oneness, feeling connected, feeling that you are you and don't need to be anyone else. You don't need to be better than or worse than. You are simply you. And notice when you have that full acceptance, that natural mindfulness, there is no desire to choose substitutes because they're not needed. And I want you to get a feeling that for a while now, almost everything is aligned. But there is just one echo of your past which doesn't quite fit. I want you to get a feeling that there was a time when the act of smoking did fit who you were. Maybe that was in your teenage years or early 20s. And that was fine for that time. But there was a time when you were 1 or 2 years old that you would have a dummy or suck your thumb, and you don't do those anymore, and yet you are still you. I want you to get a feeling that smoking is just an echo of who you used to be, not who you are anymore. And wouldn't it be good to still be you rather than an echo of you? I want you to imagine as you explore that nature, finding a very comfortable chair, the kind of chair that definitely does not belong around trees, and yet there in your imagination it is. And just imagine sinking into that chair, feeling even more deeply relaxed, And as I count down from 5 to 1, I want you to imagine sinking deeply into the chair, full of pure relaxation. 5, imagining a yawn. 4, arms heavier. 3, just feeling all of your internal organs relax down into your gut. And then 2, legs feeling heavier, so your arms and legs are like the limbs of a puppet with no strings. And then 1, from the tips of your toes to the top of your head, all the way down to your fingertips, feel a ripple of relaxation. And imagine sinking into that comfortable chair out in nature, breathing in fresh air. And start to imagine a new ritual, a new relationship, a new standard with yourself. But before we set that standard, I want you to bring forth a part that's always had a good intention, but the way that it delivered it was almost like a parasite taking from you, controlling you, forcing you, coercing you. And I want you to imagine that part, whichever form it takes. And maybe it's wearing a hat. Maybe it has a tone of voice. Maybe there's certain things that you never really realize, but if this part was another human, every time they tried to influence you, it would make you want to do the opposite. I want you to look at all these things that make you feel that in its current form, the more it tries to influence you, the more defiant, stubborn you become to do the very opposite. And I want you to imagine yourself, perhaps late afternoon, early evening, and that part appears, almost with an entitled, arrogant tone. I'm here. You're not going to get rid of me. You will do as I say, and only then I will go away. But now, it feels different. It feels like the more it tries to coerce you, the more defiant you become. And I want you to imagine this part looking that way, sounding that way, being more tenacious than ever. And it simply creates the opposite state in you, a refusal, a sense of defiance. You will do what you want to do, not what this part is coercing you to do. And if you can reach that point where enough is enough, that they've lost all of their power, and nothing they say or do can make you want to smoke, let me know by nodding your head. And maybe you can see an expression of defeat or confusion. It's lost its power. And there might be a part that says, well, I'll just come back tomorrow. But I want you to let that part know that under no circumstances will you respond while it talks to you in that way. I want you to ask what its positive intention has always been for you. Just check if it's to protect, to keep you safe. And if it is, let me know by nodding your head. And I think it's been trying to keep you safe by keeping you small, holding you back. Many people believe that they shouldn't put their head above the parapet. It's not safe to be that tall poppy in case someone chops you down to size. But I want you to communicate with that part and say that you're grateful for the intention, but you no longer accept the way in which they're helping. They want to keep you connected to your past, fine. But there's so many things that are wonderful from your past that you do want to maintain in your future. And I want you to ask that part to make a choice, to either be banished or to be promoted. That if it insists on taking its current form, current tonality, current objective, it's no longer welcome. But if it's willing to have more responsibility, to evolve into a new form, well then, it gets to be part of the pack, part of the tribe. It gets to be an insider rather than an outsider. And if it's receptive to this shift, let me know by nodding your head. And I want you to say that the new role is to empower you with high standards. The new role is to keep you safe through excellent decision making. And also to remind you to have humility, that no matter how successful you become, you will never forget where you're from. And if this part is willing to take those responsibilities on a probation basis, let me know by nodding your head. And then ask it. Ask it to take that form. And when it shifts and changes, how it looks, how it sounds, how it encourages you rather than belittles you, how it wants you to strive to do more, have more, be more. And notice how this part wants you to end the day with something indulgent and yet empowering. And I want you to think about what it would be like on a day where you've done things that make you proud, feel accomplished. You've worked hard, and I want you to imagine what it would be like to have some luxurious, high-quality chocolates, to have one at a point of quiet reflection, a respite, just time with yourself, to think over the day, to maybe reminisce from your past. Not because you have to, but you may find yourself doing that. And I want you to see if that evolved part feels that this does what smoking was trying to do, but better. And if it agrees, let me know by nodding your head. And I want you to ask that part. It is welcome if you deserve it, to prompt you, nudge you, to do this kind of empowering indulgence. You feel deserving, mindful. The whole world does not exist in that moment. You escape everything, and yet it enhances your life. It doesn't diminish it, doesn't hold you back, doesn't give you any regrets. no shame. And if that part agrees that it will help you to feel even more worthy, even more capable, even more proud of what you do and how you do it, then it's past the interview and gets the promotion. But be clear with that part. If it ever goes back to its previous form, previous way of trying to be coercive, it loses everything, and you will banish it by sending it hundreds of miles away, knowing it will take months before it can even get close to you. And if it returns in that old form, it will be banished again, and it's only welcome in its evolved form. And then I want you to ask all the other parts within you to vote. If they're willing to allow this part to be integrated rather than an outsider, let me know by nodding your head. And that is on the condition that it does its responsibilities well. If it relapses back into its old ways, sending it hundreds of miles away is evidence of banishment, that it is no longer welcome and would have to earn its way back into the tribe, into the pack again. And once this new relationship with yourself and these parts is established, I want you to think about yourself in the days that follow. I want you to see how that old habit loses all of its appeal. Smoking just means that that parasitic part is winning. And I want you to get a feeling that every time you refuse, you are voting on your own growth, your own evolution, your own progress. And I want you to see a new ritual, frictionless, quick, and yet deeply empowering. See yourself doing that indulgent thing, and yet it enhances your life. I want you to get a thing that sometimes everything is improved by something being added to it, and sometimes things are taken. A parasite takes, but something synergistic adds. And if you feel that this new ritual adds to your life rather than takes, then it's evidence that it's the right thing. But anything that adds to your health, your well-being, feelings of gratitude and pride, accomplishment and reflection could be that thing. But I want you to get a sense that you get to decide, and your emotions will tell you. If you do the thing and think about it after it's happened and you still feel good, it's the right thing. But if you do the thing and afterwards you feel regret, shame, or just unpleasantness, then it isn't the right thing. Your own emotions and intuition will tell you everything you need to know. Once you're convinced that future version of you has this new identity without the echo of the past. Imagine yourself 2 years from now on a busy, stressful day, and see how you end the day in a way that is empowering and indulgent, giving you a glimpse of wonderful changes yet to come. But it's time to leave this place. Find yourself back there in that chair in nature. Leave the chair, walking through woodland, and then allow yourself to float all the way back to the present, taking these new changes with you. So take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, connect and calibrate into the here and the now. As I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of The Hypnotist. If you've enjoyed this episode or got some value from it, please give it a 5-star rating and review. And maybe you know someone that would also benefit from this particular episode, in which case share the episode with them so they can also get the benefit too. And if you would like to listen to this episode where it's just the hypnosis, so no intro, no outro, no explanation, just the hypnosis and completely ad-free, there will be a link in the description where you can subscribe at a very low cost and only get access to the hypnosis. So if that's of interest, please check that out. Thank you again for being a regular listener of The Hypnotist, and I'll see you again soon for more.